Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. With me today, I have Tanner Newman out of Waxahachie. Um, just super physical defensive end or D tackle, wherever they have him line up at. Um, does not move like his weight shows. I mean, he's lightning fast off the line. Extremely powerful, controls the offensive line where he wants them to go, and constantly makes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Um, it's really impressive the way that he controls the offensive line. Plays in an absolutely stout district, and I mean, there's only so much that you can do on the defensive line to help your team out as far as goes winning a game, but his stats and the things that he does against the competition that he does, um, it doesn't justify a record that Waxahachie had that year because his personal ability is outstanding. So Tanner, man, what have you been up to this off season?
Um, Really just trying to get my grades up, trying to get bigger, faster, and stronger, like every other athlete is. But now my bench press has gone up 55 pounds since the end of the season. End of the season, I maxed out at 275, and then right now, roughly, I'm at like 340, maybe a little bit over now. Last time we tested, it was at 340. But I'm I've been repping out like 330, 335 for sets of four and three lately. So I'm pretty sure next time we test, it'll go up. My squat's gone up a lot. I did 435 for five sets of five the other day, which um, I had an ankle injury during the year, so that kind of held me back a little bit. But I'm getting over that now. But other than that, yeah, just my grades and trying to get bigger, faster, and stronger, become better.
Yeah, you were telling me about that ankle injury that you had on Twitter in our conversation, and man, when you told me that you were playing with an injured ankle and you were doing these squat reps with an injured ankle, that makes everything that you do all the more impressive because it's just crazy to see how strong and how well you perform out there on the field, and you were hurt the whole time. So that's putting the team above yourself, which I know a ton of coaches will respect that. I respect that a ton. I mean, that's incredible that you put yourself through that and still managed to perform the way that you did. Um, Outside of that, you mentioned that you had some visits that you have done, and I know you have Texas Tech coming up here recently. What are some of the visits that you've been on?
My sophomore year, I visited SMU like two or three times. I really like it up there. It's real close to home. I went to the A&M Alabama game. A&M is that place is so loud you can barely hear yourself think. But I went to Grambling, La Tech, Louisiana Monroe. I went to a UNT game this past year. I'm trying to think. I think that's it so far. Yeah, that's it so far.
Yeah, all of those are great schools. Is closeness to home? I know Texas is huge, and the only one that's really, I guess, out there is Texas Tech. But is closeness to home something that interests you, or does it really matter when it comes down to your final decision?
Yeah. I want to stay in Texas. I was born in Texas. I was raised in Texas. I'm a Texas boy. That I love it here. I'm obviously open to traveling out of state if that's where God wants to put me, and I'm completely fine with that if that's His plan. I have no problem with that at all. But if I had to pick, I would want to stay in Texas. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a great answer, man. A lot of coaches like to keep the Texas athletes in Texas. Tired of seeing out of state schools come in and, for lack of a better word, poach the talent out of Texas.
Right.
So I mean that's awesome. I love that you want to stay in Texas. I think Texas is awesome. So,
Yes, sir.
um, do you have any camps that are coming up, or have you attended any camps previously?
Yes, sir. I went to the Adidas Army All American Combine my January my sophomore year, and I went in January to this for the second time actually. Yeah, and then I got invited to the Rivals camp for the past 2 years. I got invited to the Pro Football Hall of Fame Academy showcase or whatever recently, so that kind of surprised me a lot. I really want to go to that. and I'm in True Buzz too, and they take me to camps in Houston and all across the state, and even camps outside of state. SMU invited me to all of their camps, along with like a couple that are OU and Texas are going to be there. And they talked to one of my True Buzz coaches, and they told me they wanted to see me at one of those because they wanted to see me in person. I know that Baylor said that they wanted to see me in person. Incarnate Word invited me to their camp. I've been texting their coach a little bit. He invited me to their junior day too. I couldn't make it because of like family issues, but I wanted to go to that too. In Columbia, they emailed me a lot, and they invited me to one of their camps and their junior day too. So those are all the camps I've gotten invited to, and then I'm probably going to attend like TCU, and I'll probably go to a Texas Tech camp depending on how the visit goes, and then probably a couple others that are in state, and then a couple that are Oklahoma and Louisiana too.
Man, that's great. That kind of answered the next question that I was going to go into, is with schools interested in you. You named a ton of them right there that have been in contact with you from all different levels, whether it's D2 all the way up to Power 5 schools and D1. That's ridiculous. It sounds like you were just right on the cusp of blowing up pretty much, and your film backs it up, absolutely. All it takes is just that one school to make the offer, and from there it can become a snowball effect of just other schools trickling in, and you've got a ton that are just lined up right on the door that it seems. So this could be an absolutely monster year for you going forward. I know you mentioned earlier that you're working on your grades. That's got to be number one going into college. Got to get those grades up. So, I mean, as long as you can do that and get those under control, your tape speaks for itself. I can't even imagine what you're going to be like when you're at 100%. So, hopefully everything next year is just absolutely insane. One thing that I want to end on this one. One thing that I like to ask on every show, regardless if you have an offer or not, or if they've even been in contact with you, who is the number one school that you would absolutely love to play for?
Who would I like to play for, or like to go for grades?
Play for. Like if they came up to you tomorrow and said, we want to offer you a full ride scholarship, who would you love to hear that from?
That's a tough question. If it was up to my family, it'd be the University of Texas. We've bled orange since the day I was born. They're all diehard fans. But if it was up to me, can I have more than one?
Yeah, I mean, sure. If you've got more than one that you would love to have an offer from, yeah, by all means, go right ahead.
All four schools that are really close to me, between Baylor, TCU, SMU, and UNT, would be tied at one of the ranks. I don't know 1, 2, or 3, but just if one of those offered me, it would be up there because it's close to Dallas. Like, Texas would be in the top 3, of course. Oh, that other one. I'd probably have to say Stanford. Because of the grades.
Out of left field on that one. I was not expecting that at all. Yeah, that's one I don't think that you've even mentioned.
Yeah, I haven't talked to them at all. Like, I have no contact with them at all. But just the fact that they're almost Ivy League, or I don't know if they are or not, but I know that their academics are through the roof, and I know they have a really good business program. That's what I want to major in. I want to get a business degree because my dad, he has his own business, and I want to be a motivational speaker after football. And so, like, I kind of want to do that and have my own business and write my own story throughout my life and share my testimony with other people after football to try and influence other people. And I feel like if I went to Stanford or a school of that caliber, it would just influence everything even more.
That's a heck of a school to choose. Stanford's they're Pac-12, but they might as well be borderline Ivy League with the academics that they have. I can tell you this right now. We talked about it a little bit before we went live. Your camera has not worked this whole time, but I can tell you the way that you've spoken, that motivational speaker path it's right there for you, man. I mean, even if you haven't known that your camera hasn't been working, which issues happen, whatever, the way that you're able to speak and how fluent you are, and just everything else about it, it's wonderful. I could definitely see that being a path for you somewhere further down the line, if football is not your calling in the future, or even after football, if it is what you do end up doing after college. But man, it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you. I wish the absolute best for your senior season going forward. I hope those offers come and all those schools get in contact with you real soon. Like I said, I feel like you're right on the doorstep of doing some absolutely great things, man.
Well, I really hope you're right there. I know God's got a plan. I'm just waiting on it to happen.
Oh, it's coming, man. I have a big feeling you don't have all those schools coming to talk to you and not have an offer in the wings just waiting. So, man, I hope your senior season is everything you hope and dream for, and that those offers are right around the corner for you, man. It's been an awesome time talking with you today.
Awesome, man. Thank you very, very much for having me on the show. Sorry my camera wasn't.
It's not a problem, man. You, like I said, you did a great job just speaking through it.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you. I'll holler at you later.
Yes, sir. Thanks for being on, man.
See you.
All right, take care.